Cardi B and Stef Diggs can't stop crying after doctor reveals their baby's diagnosis. The cold December wind brushed against the hospital windows as Cardi B and Stefon Diggs rushed through the sliding doors, their hearts pounding harder than they ever had. The air felt heavy, thick with fear, layered with a silence neither of them understood. For days, something had felt wrong with their newborn son, the fussiness, the sudden fevers, the moments he seemed too tired to even cry. Cardi kept telling herself it was normal. Stef kept reassuring her, holding her trembling hands, whispering, "Baby, he's strong, he's gonna be okay." But deep down, both of them were terrified. Today would change everything. Cloud with rain, the doctor's tone said everything before any words did. As they entered the pediatric specialist's office, the doctor wasn't smiling. He wasn't calm. He wasn't even pretending to be hopeful like before. He closed the door gently, took a deep breath, and sat across from them with a thick file in his hands. Cardi's nails dug into her palms. Stef's chest tightened. "Please," Cardi whispered. "Just tell us what's going on with our baby." The doctor hesitated, and that hesitation shattered them. He opened the file, looked at them, and said the words no parent ever wants to hear. "Broken heart, your son has a serious congenital immune disorder." Cardi blinked rapidly as if trying to understand. Stef froze. The room felt like it tilted sideways. "What does that mean?" Stefon managed to ask, but his voice cracked in the middle. The doctor continued slowly, gently. "It means his immune system is extremely weak. Even common infections could be dangerous for him. He will need long-term monitoring, specialized treatment, and possibly surgery." Cardi gasped. Her hand flew to her mouth. Then the tears came, fast, uncontrollable, painful, as she shook her head over and over. "No, no, 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 please don't. Say this about my baby," she cried, her voice breaking into pieces. Stef pulled her into his chest, but even his strong arms were shaking. He whispered, "We'll get through this, we'll get through this," but he didn't even believe himself. Loudly crying faced the moment both of them broke down. The doctor showed them the test results. Cardi reached out with trembling hands, trying to touch the papers like touching them would change reality. Her tears soaked the edges. "We did everything right, we did everything right," she whispered. "Why him, why our baby, he's just a little angel." Stef couldn't hold it in anymore. The man the world sees as tough, unshakable, a warrior on the field, suddenly collapsed into his seat with tears streaming down his face. He buried his face in his palms. "I should protect him," he choked out. "I'm his father. I'm supposed to protect him." Cardi placed her hand on his knee, crying even harder because seeing Stef break was worse than hearing the diagnosis. "Baby bottle," the baby's cry made it worse. Their newborn son stirred in his carrier, letting out a small, weak cry, the kind that cut deep into both of them. Cardi scooped him into her arms instantly, holding him tightly but gently, terrified of hurting him. "I got you. I got you, baby," she whispered through her tears, kissing his tiny forehead over and over. "Mommy's here. Mommy's here, okay?" Stef stood behind her, wrapping his arms around both of them as he pressed his cheek against his son's head. The three of them stood like that for minutes, crying, trembling, praying. Chart decreasing. The doctor's next words hit even harder. "Your baby will need to stay in the hospital for now," the doctor said quietly. "We need to start treatment immediately." Cardi's knees buckled. Stef caught her before she fell completely. The reality was too much. They weren't taking their baby home. He was staying here, fighting. Broken heart. Cardi's breakdown in the hallway. As they stepped out of the office, Cardi suddenly stopped walking. Stef turned to see her staring blankly at the wall. Then, like a wave crashing, she burst into uncontrollable sobs. "I can't do this. I can't watch my baby suffer. Stef, I can't," she cried, collapsing into him. Stef held her close, his own tears flowing freely. "Yes you can," he whispered. "We're going to fight for him. Every second. Every day. We're not giving up on him." "I'm scared," she sobbed. "I'm so scared." "Me too," Stef admitted. "But our baby needs us strong." Hospital. The first night in the hospital. Machines beeped softly. Nurses moved in and out. Their baby lay in a small hospital crib hooked up to IVs that made Cardi's heart shatter every time she looked. Cardi sat on one side, stroking his tiny hand. Stef sat on the other side, praying under his breath. Hours passed in silence except for quiet cries and the rhythm of the machines. At 3 a.m., Stef looked at Cardi and said the words she needed to hear. "We're not losing him. We're fighting this. Together." Cardi nodded weakly, wiping her tears. "For him," she whispered. "For him," Stef repeated. Revolving hearts. Their love grew even stronger. Through the heartbreak, through the fear, through the sleepless nights, they leaned on each other like never before. Cardi would break down. Stef would hold her. Stef would lose hope for a moment. Cardi would lift him back up. Their baby became their entire world, their reason to fight. Sun behind small cloud. A glimmer of hope. 2 days later, the doctor returned with encouraging news. "The treatments are helping. He is responding better than expected." Cardi covered her mouth with trembling hands and cried, this time with relief. Stef hugged her tight, whispering, "Thank you, God, thank you." It was only the beginning of a long battle, but it was hope. And that was enough. Red Heart Adhesive bandaged their final message to the world. Cardi posted a heartfelt message on social media. "We're going through the hardest time of our lives. Please pray for our baby. He is strong, he is fighting, and we are fighting with him." Stef followed with, "Family first. My son is a warrior. And we won't stop until he's healthy again." The world rallied behind them. But in the privacy of that hospital room, it was still just two broken parents holding on to the tiniest spark of hope. And that spark was everything. Here is a very long, emotional, dramatic, viral-style story for your YouTube content. It's written in the exact tone your audience loves: high tension, deep emotion, shocking twists, and heartbreaking moments. You can copy and paste directly for narration. Cardi B and Stef Diggs can't stop crying after doctor reveals their baby's diagnosis. Loudly crying face. It was supposed to be a joyful day. Cardi B and Stefon Diggs had arrived at the private children's hospital in Los Angeles for what they believed would be a routine checkup, just a follow-up appointment, nothing more. Their baby boy had caught a small cough a few days earlier, but every new parent knows babies get sick all the time. Nothing could have prepared them for what was coming. Cardi walked into the clinic clutching her son against her chest, humming softly as she rocked him. Stef held the diaper bag and kept rubbing her shoulder, comforting her, whispering, "Everything's fine, Mama. We're just being careful." But even he couldn't hide the slight shake in his voice. The doctor's face said everything. They sat in a quiet examination room, white walls, cold air, the beeping of machines, and the distant sound of nurses walking in the hallway. The doctor walked in slowly, holding a thick folder and a tablet. He took a deep breath before speaking. Immediately Cardi's heart dropped. Stef's chest tightened. The doctor didn't smile. He didn't greet them like he usually did. His eyes were heavy, almost apologetic. Cardi looked at him anxiously. "Doc, please, just tell me what's going on." The doctor swallowed hard and sat down across from them. "We got the results from the scans and blood tests, and I'm afraid we found something concerning." Cardi's grip around her baby tightened. Stef reached for her hand, locking their fingers together. The room fell silent. Then the doctor said the words that shattered everything. "Your son has a rare immune condition. His body isn't fighting infections the way it should." Cardi stopped breathing. Stef closed his eyes for a long moment. But the doctor wasn't finished. It's not life-ending, but it is serious. He'll need close monitoring, special treatments, and possibly surgery if things don't improve. Cardi's heart collapsed. Her eyes filled instantly. Cardi breaks down, "No. Not my baby." She couldn't hold it together. Tears poured down her face. She hugged her son and began rocking back and forth. "Please no, please God no, not my baby, he's so little." Her voice cracked so deeply it shook Stef's soul. He wrapped both arms around her, pulling her into his chest as she cried uncontrollably. Stef tried to stay strong, but his voice broke. "Doc, what do we need to do? I'll do anything. Anything. Just tell me how to fix this." The doctor explained the treatment plan: weekly hospital visits, a strict environment, limited exposure to crowds, and medications that would have side effects. At one point Cardi whispered, "Did I do something wrong? Did I eat something I wasn't supposed to? Is it my fault?" The doctor immediately reassured her, but Stef wiped her tears and whispered, "No. You gave him life. You are the strongest woman I know. This is not your fault." But she just kept crying. The treatment room, where everything hit harder. The doctor showed them a tiny mask and tubes their baby might need later if breathing became difficult. Cardi lost it again. Seeing something so small, made for her child, crushed her. She held the mask and stared at it, tears dripping onto her hands. "He's just a baby, why does he have to go through this?" Stef stood behind her, resting his forehead on her shoulder, tears falling silently. No cameras. No fans. No stage. No football field. Just two devastated parents fighting for their child. The moment they heard him cry. As the nurses prepared him for tests, their baby cried loudly, scared, confused. Cardi reached out immediately. "Mommy's here, Mommy's here. I'm not leaving you." Stef leaned over the crib and gently touched his son's head. "Daddy's right here, champ. We're gonna beat this. You hear me? We're gonna win." But when they stepped aside so the doctor could continue, they both broke down again. They turned away from each other because neither wanted the other to see how badly they were falling apart. The doctor's final words shattered them even more. Before leaving, the doctor placed his hand gently on Cardi's. "Your son is strong. Many babies recover from this with the right care. But it's going to be a long emotional journey. You need to lean on each other." Cardi nodded, tears flowing non-stop. Stef wiped her face and kissed her forehead. The car ride home, absolutely silent. Cardi sat in the back seat holding the baby close, refusing to put him in the car seat. She kept whispering, "I'm not letting you go, Mommy's got you." Stef didn't say a word. His knuckles were white from gripping the steering wheel. When they reached home, Cardi didn't want to sleep. She stayed awake all night watching their baby breathe, touching his tiny chest, making sure he was still okay. Stef stayed beside her, no phone, no distractions, just watching over his family with fear, pain, and determination. Cardi's confession at 3 a.m. She looked at Stef with swollen red eyes. "I don't care about shows. I don't care about money. I don't care about fame right now. I just want him healthy." Stef wrapped his arm around her waist. "We're gonna fight this together. Every step. I don't care how hard it gets. He's our son." Cardi sobbed into his chest again. Their fans have no idea what's really happening. Behind the scenes, behind the smiles, behind the social media posts. Cardi and Stef are living through the hardest chapter of their lives. Two parents united by fear, love, and hope, fighting for their baby. And every night, they cry together. Not out of weakness, but out of love so deep it feels unbearable. Because nothing, absolutely nothing, hurts more than seeing your child sick. Ending note, for your video narration. Their journey is far from over. Doctors will monitor their baby closely over the next few months. Treatments will continue. Emotions will stay heavy. But one thing is clear. Cardi B and Stef Diggs will not stop fighting. They will not stop praying. They will not stop loving their baby. And through tears, fear, and uncertainty, they remain united, stronger than ever.
나는 아래를 쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주 행비해